Good evening and welcome back to our last video in the Planning for Beginners 10 minutes at a time. I'm Karen Nichols. I am an independent brand ambassador for Tula 12, but these videos are just to help you get started on corralling the chaos in your life. And if, as you get started, you find out you want to learn about these products, good. If you don't, that's fine too. I know you're thinking, I have all these papers. You had me do a calendar. You had me gather up all my appointments. You had me write down everything that was in my mind that I needed to do. How am I going to keep up with all this stuff? That's what we're going to talk about tonight. You need to have a dedicated place in your home where you keep your planning items. And sometimes even something that simple is just, your mind is just too tired to think about it. So I'm going to give you some ideas. And even if you use one of these ideas now, that doesn't mean you can't change and use something else later as you build your own system the way you want it to be, the way that your mind and your life works. You can clean out a drawer. Take everything out of the drawer, and the only thing that's allowed to go in it are your planning materials. You can get a 3-ring binder and keep everything in there. You can get some file folders and label each one with what's in it. Put it in a file box. If you put it in just a cardboard box, I would write on the outside of that box in big black letters, "Not trash, do not throw away." And don't ask me how I know that, please. You could get a Rubbermaid or off-brand box at the store and just stack it all in there. I'm going to show you how I keep mine together. My daughter is a 31 gifts consultant. She has been for, I think, 8 years now. And when she was first getting started, the hot thing was an office in a bag. Everybody wanted an office in a bag. So I have got a 31 zip top organizing utility tote. And I love it because it's got all these outside pockets that I can stick stuff in. I can put my water bottle here. I can put my thermos of hot tea here. Then I've got 3 more pockets, and I can just as I can grab things and just stick them in there. But in my office in a bag, I have my master planner. This stays on my kitchen table. It stays open to the month that we are in right now, September. That way, when I get up in the morning or before I go to bed at night, or both many times, I can just glance at that calendar. I can see the whole month. I can see all of my appointments. And let me just show you August for a second, and you'll see why it was very helpful to have it in August. Those are all of my appointments, and none of those had anything to do with my full-time job. So a master planner. You're going, well, what else have you got in that notebook? I have a perpetual information insert, and that has, for every month, I can put birthdays, anniversaries, life events, the insurances, do anything that I want to, and then knowing that it's going to come up next February or next December, and it's right there in the book. And as new things are added, I just add them right on. And then I've got my address book in here. And so all of that is right on my kitchen table, right at my fingertips. If I want to say, oh gosh, is this month my mom's birthday? I can just flip to the perpetual calendar, flip to September, and go, no, hers isn't in September. That was my aunt's, who's now deceased. So you can wipe that out of your mind. And then if I do need to send a card, I can flip right in my address book right there, and I have the address to send it. Also in my bag, I have the 12-week year planner. And that is a whole other video series, trust me, but we may get into that one day as you get your feet wet with planning. This actually stays in my tote bag when I go to work, but I have it here to show you because this is what I call my medical book. I have the calendar, so anytime I go to a doctor or dentist or whatever, I have my appointments here. I can make sure I don't double book. We talked about that in video 1. And then I also decided I would get one of our medical tracker inserts. And so on each page, no, that's not what that one was. This is the medication tracker, I'm sorry. And so I have all my medications. You know how when you go to the doctor and they say, what medications do you take? Did you bring your bottles with you? Well, no, I didn't bring my bottles with me, but let me grab my tracker because I've got them all written down for you. Then I have my blood pressure tracker, which I'm going to have to do some kind to get in the habit of that. I haven't got in the habit of that yet. And then a medical doctor visit. I don't use it exactly the way they have it laid out. They think you're going to use a full page for every visit. I don't. But I have my doctor here and her information. And then as I make each visit, I just log what she tells me. So that has helped me immensely. Then as soon as I get home, I make sure all of my medical is on that master planner that I showed you. So when I look before I go to work in the mornings, it jogs my memory and I don't miss that appointment because I'm busy working. The most important thing in my office in the bag, this is my dedicated Declutter Your Mind journal. This is where I do my brain dumps, and then this is where I break down into steps, and this is where I prioritize my steps. And like I said, as one gets full, you can do a new one weekly, or sometimes I have to do more than one a week, but you can just have fun with it. I've got them laid out all different kinds of ways. And then also in my bag, I have some washi tape and my fall leaf stickers. I also have, for when I want to tape something into one of my trackers, I have the sticky tape right there with me. I have just some fun stickers to decorate with. And then I've got pen, fine liner, highlighter, fine marker, and a colored pen. And so anything that I need is in that bag, and I know where to find it. So come home, put my master planner on my table, and then it stays there unless I'm going to go do some major planning at a coffee shop, or if I'm going to some meeting that I need my full planner in view. That stays on my kitchen table at all times. I really appreciate you taking the time to look at these videos. I hope you're finding some helpful tips for you. I am going to do a bonus video and record it tomorrow, and it's just going to be brain dump in a nutshell. So you can just pull that up and it just has boom, 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 the steps without all of my extra conversation. I will leave any extra conversation to the end so that if all you need to do is remind yourself of the steps, you can watch that and cut it off. And then my next videos that I'm going to start working on will be weekly planning. Because yes, that's the next step. Yeah, we've done it for a month, but once you get go rolling good and you're doing your month by month planning and you got your mind decluttering and brain dumps going and got that into your routine, then you'll want to add in some dedicated weekly planning. And that's not going to be hours either. We want, once you get it set up through these initial videos, you can take 10 to 15 minutes a day, and you have enough commercial breaks on TV. Just stop during the commercial breaks when you're listening to the TV and do it during them to get those few minutes of planning done. You can even do it at the sports field while your kids are playing, while they're playing soccer, practicing soccer. Take your planners, put them in an office in a bag, and carry them to your kids' activities where you're just mindlessly sitting there. Again, I hope you have a good evening. I appreciate you taking the time. And you can always, always reach out to me at My Journey to Tranquility on Instagram. You can reach out to me on my Facebook business page, My Journey to Tranquility. And my email is Karen Nichols Consultant at gmail.com. KARENNICHOLS Consultant. You have a good weekend.